Hello, everyone. Let's check out our Thursday daily. Looks like we've got Rising Sun and is it Hinterlands? Yeah. So there's a look at the kingdom. A couple of landscapes. Riverboat is in. Okay. Gather is the gain 345. Asceticism. Trashing. Okay, so we've got trashing. We have plus buy. Where's the draw? Wow. There appears to be absolutely no way to put more cards in your hand. The closest thing to, I wouldn't, no. Like you'll never have more than 5 cards in your hand, right? There's village in the form of riverboat. And the start of turn, I guess, what do you call this? Sifting? Whatever that is. The start of, excuse me. Start of turn sifting can be nice. If we hit gather, 3, 4, 5, there's no 4-cost cards on the board. Interesting. So gather says basically gain 3 and a 5, which is funny. The cost is barely different. We get a highway in play and a plus buy. Gather becomes very inefficient. There's extra gains in Haggler, Wheelwright, Craftsman. Cauldron can curse. Although there is a good way to get rid of curses, so maybe it's not the most effective thing. I mean, what do I want to do here? Trash. Strongly trash? If I trash an estate right now and then buy an ironmonger, not ironmonger, fishmonger. Are we guaranteed to hit 5? We must be. What would my first 5 be? Haggler? Cauldron. In terms of actions, in terms of triggering Cauldron, if that's even a thing I want to do. Gaining a bunch of snake witches, probably, or schemes, could do it. Yeah, the village is just a little bit... The village is weak here. You know, it's... it's a dead card on the turn you play it. Next turn, filters a little bit. But then what terminals do you want to play anyway? Haggler or Fishmonger? Maybe Craftsman? Oh, excuse me. I started coughing literally right as I started recording the video. Would it be better to try and get more money and try to save up for a more effective asceticism? Or is this just like a... Maybe this is a mass highway I suppose, no, if I get highway down to, if I get province down to 5, so if I play 3 highways, this essentially says gain a card costing 6, 7, 8. Right? That doesn't seem like a good deal. I mean, what is the... I guess it could be nice to take a large number of highways, but then we need plus buy, and that comes from Cauldron Fishmonger. It's going to be hard. It's going to be awkward to get village. So, you know, maybe we're playing only 1 Fishmonger. In which case we only have 2 buys. Well, Cauldron, though, right? So, we would have to clean out our entire deck. And, and then what am I doing? You know, playing like 6 or 7 highways, a bunch of cauldrons, taking provinces, then our deck is ruined, but maybe we scrape by on duchies. Oh man, I'm not really sure. Any draw in this kingdom would have been fun. Maybe what I do, if I'm starting to add tons of green and ruining my deck, maybe I throw in a couple cartographers to get rid of those provinces. Or, you know, to discard them. I guess it's okay to have multiple fishmongers and not worry about terminal collision because, you know, you decide when they collide, basically. So am I going like trash an estate by fishmonger? And then my first 5 could be like, is it Highwayman or Haggler? Highwayman doesn't help me trash any faster. Haggler kind of does, but then you're wasting the gain ability of Haggler. And what would my scheme top decks only actions? I mean, I guess if I have a few schemes, you know, littered through the deck with other things, then maybe even Sea Witch could trigger itself. I don't know. Let's do this. And a fishmonger. So they just trashed another estate. So I could trash 2 cards here. And then I still have 5 next turn. That's probably good. So they've just trashed, all they've done is trash their 3 estates. So I feel like I've made more well, have I made more progress? I don't know. You know, I do still have this estate. I don't know if it's worth doing this again, or do I want to like make some kind of progress with my deck here? The thing is, if I take Haggler, then I do essentially have a very high risk of some kind of collision. Either collision with the haggler or the fishmonger ending up in my starting hand. Some kind of combination of those things. Maybe this is just not a haggler board. If I get a lot of cauldrons and dump curses on them all at once, that could be painful for them. I would have to spend at least 6 money. Right? Buy 3 snake witches. If I get a lot of cauldrons, and then they'll have to just do asceticism over and over. If I over time get like 3 cauldrons, that's 6 money, 7 from Ironmonger. That allows me to, or why do I keep calling this Ironmonger? Fishmonger. That would allow me to do this. Let's do this one more time. They take a haggler. I think I want a cauldron now. Maybe even... so next turn I'd have 8. Next turn I would have 8. Well, no, I wouldn't. Hopefully, a copper ends up as the 6th card from the top. I'll have the fishmonger. Hopefully the cauldron doesn't bottom deck. So I'll have 7. I could trash a bunch of these coppers. And then just take a bunch of cauldrons, curse them. Like, I could potentially drop 9 curses on them over the course of a few turns. And then I just take a bunch of highways. Highway, Snake Witch. Okay, I don't think their Snake Witch has a good chance of triggering. Trash these 3 cards. No, I would only be able to trash 2 of them. So maybe I buy 1 more cauldron here. And I don't even necessarily need to get 3 cauldrons, right? Keep 1 copper, give them curses 2 at a time. I don't know if that's the best either. So if I trash these two, I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in deck. If I take a Cauldron here, I may as well take a Snake Witch. It has an off chance of hitting, and even if it doesn't, after I do some trashing, then it could have an off chance of hitting. But if I take a Cauldron here, that's 2, so I have 7 here. That's 2 cards I might not draw. So I might go to 8. Yeah, let's do this. And I wouldn't mind doing another asceticism here, getting rid of these 3 coppers. Down there, I think is it? Well, Snake Witch, and is it 2 more coppers? Yeah. Snake Witch and 2 more coppers. So that means I would see these Cauldrons. So that's 5, 6, 7. I could buy another Cauldron and then go nuts on the Snake Witches turn after. Yeah, I need to start getting highways also. I should be able to draw everything, or at least draw everything I need to dump curses on them. I'm in fact not going to buy a Snake Witch here. Maybe I shouldn't have even bought this one, because you know, I need there to be a lot in the pile for this cursing thing to work. And I could give them 2 curses now, but I'd rather give them 3 curses. Highway, yeah. Will Scheme do anything for me at all? I think I might want cartographers if I end up going for provinces. Hold on a second. I could have done this better. There we go. So just do the same thing next turn. And I might be able to do it with more highways. It's too bad the... Okay, so now those curses are in there. Highway, highway, Snake Witch. So once they trigger a shuffle again, they're going to be in bad shape. And I'm going to be able to get three more curses in their deck before their next shuffle. Do I take a province here? Like a province? Can I win here? No. But if I give them three more curses, can they win next turn? Probably not, right? What did they do last turn? Snake Witch, Highway, Highway, Highway. Haggler, 3 coppers. So they only drew 1 curse out of that. There's 3 more in these 7 cards. So they're not doing much this turn. How could they win? Do they have any extra buys? They have Haggler, which gains non-victory cards. So if I give them 3 curses, did they play the Haggler? Yes. Still, they could. I'm not tracking super close. They could draw back to the Haggler. It'd be extremely lucky of them, especially if I dump 3 more curses in their discard pile. But you know, even would a real wheelwright be a good idea for me? He only gains actions. Cartographer is pretty safe. Like, here are my options. I could go Province Snake Witch. That gives me a 9-point lead. But the Province is a stop card. And I think I am exactly on the edge of drawing deck. Yeah, I've got 5 stop cards here. Everything else is a cantrip or the Fishmonger. So, you know, I'm at the mercy of what I draw. I've bought 2 highways already. That's probably fine. Cartographer helps the problem with stop cards. And I'd be discarding coppers at this point. Although there is the chance of triggering... Is there a chance of triggering a weird shuffle if I do something like that? I don't know. What if I just go Cartographer and 2 Snake Witches? Then next turn, they could go Snake Witch, Curse, Province. But they don't have plus buy. Yeah, if I go Cartographer, double Snake Witch Curse ends the game, but they would be at a loss. They would need to buy a province. That I don't think that's possible for them. So this should be safe. And, you know, I can just end the game now on Snake Witch Curse. Okay, in fact, I have the win in hand, right? Just buy a curse. But let's see what else I can do. So I should draw everything here, right? It's all cantrips at the bottom of my deck. Are you allowed to reorder it this way? Wait a minute. Oh, right. Wait, what? Was I at risk of not drawing? Yeah, I guess I was at risk of a lot of my cantrips not going through. Okay, fine. How do I maximize score here? I guess it's just buying everything, right? Alrighty. Yeah, I don't know. There is a way of getting thin, but, you know, taking curses all at once like that makes it real hard for an event like this to clean them up, especially when your payload is coming from cost reduction. You know, You play a bunch of highways. You don't have anything. They had one effective silver in the haggler. So like the most money they're making on a single hand is 6. But then, you know, if you play all that 6 money, you're not trashing anything from your hand, right? If you had like, at best you could trash 2 curses at a time if you had exactly haggler, double copper, double curse. You know, I was dishing them out pretty quickly in the last few turns. So to keep up the trashing there, you need something, you need a card with more money than that, or you need more cards with money, right? They only had, yeah, all right, I don't know. Not much more to say with that one. Kind of an interesting kingdom, I guess. Don't know if I played it very well. Thanks for watching.